This is video 003A, telling time for Spanish 1. Alright, let's start without the worksheet first. To tell time in Spanish, we got two things we're going to be doing. Telling the time, it is, and then say the number. And then we also have another way we're going to be doing this activity for telling at what time something is. So it is at, and then telling the number. The first one being, for example, it is 3 o'clock. And the second one being something like, when is the party? It is at 3 o'clock. So there is a fundamental difference between these two things here. Alright, so the top one here is going to be for telling what time it is. The bottom one is telling at what time something happens. So, for 1 o'clock, it's always going to be es la una. It's just that simple. For anything between 2 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it's going to be son las, and then whatever number is appropriate to put there. Not uno, but dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, something like that. So this is how you tell the time in Spanish. Alright, this is how you tell at what time. They are all going to be es la. For 1 o'clock, it's going to be, let's see, es la una. For 2 through 12 o'clock, it's essentially the same thing. It's going to be I'm sorry, not es la una, es a la una, my bad. For 2 to 12 o'clock, it's going to be es a las, and then your number. So, because it's still, it is at that time. This is plural. The only difference between these two here is the la becomes las because your number is going to be plural. But really don't have to understand why, you just have to understand that this is the way it works. So telling the time, es la una is for 1 o'clock, and son las plus whatever number you're using for 2 o'clock through 12 o'clock. Telling at what time, es a la una, because the word a, the letter A in Spanish, means at. So es a la una for 1 o'clock, and es a las, and then whatever number you want to pick when it's 2 through 12. Alright, so let's get rid of that. And we've got our notes here on the right in our worksheet here. So we have in our first one, it is 10:17. So it is 10 o'clock. Son, las, and 10 is diez. If you don't know your numbers yet, you really need to stop this video and go back and learn your numbers, because you cannot do this skill without your numbers. It's just not possible. So you should stop the video and go learn your numbers and then come back once you know your numbers. So diez is for 10. So son las diez is it is 10 o'clock. I picked son las instead of es la, as we see over here in our notes, because like I said, if it's 1 o'clock, it would be es la una. If it's 2 through 12, it's going to be son las. So we have son las diez, and it looks like it's 17 minutes. So I'm going to say and 17. 17. It's that simple. So what I have here is it is 10 and 17. Let's see. I'm going to, let's do number 2 next. It is at 1:15. Everything that it is at starts with es, a, la. Now it's not going to be las, it's going to be la, because it's going to be 1. So es a la una, y, and then 15 is quince. So this is, it is at 1 and 15. We've got, it's at 1 o'clock and 15. Now, many teachers, myself included, prefer that you use another word for that. So 15 minutes past the hour is a quarter past. It's a quarter of the hour. So there's a word for quarter. Cuarto. It looks a lot like 4, but it is not 4. Literally, it means fourth. So a fourth of an hour is 15 minutes. You may note the English, a fourth or cuarto there looks a whole lot like that, quarter. which is a fourth. A quarter of a dollar is 25 cents, so that's why a quarter is 25 cents. All right, number 3. It is 6:52. We're stating the time. So, son las 6. It is 6 o'clock and 52. So, it is 6 o'clock, son las 6 and 52. Number 4. It is 2 o'clock and 44. Son las 2. So this is, it is 2 o'clock and 44. 44. Make sure you put that R in the right spot or you're saying something very different. So we've got, it is 2 o'clock and 44. Number 5, it is 11:30. Son las 11. It is 11 and 30. Now, just like for the 15 minutes in number 2, a lot of teachers, including myself, prefer, instead of you saying it's 11 and 30, you say it's 11 and half, which is media. A lot of teachers don't mind you putting 30. And sometimes early in the lesson I don't count it wrong, but after a few days I start counting that wrong with my students. So you really need to learn and half. It's in your vocab list if you're one of my students. Okay. Number 6, it is 1 o'clock. Es la una. Number 7, it is 9:05. It is 9 o'clock. Son las 9. That is, it is 9 o'clock and 5 minutes. Y 5. Number 8, it is 7 and 21. Son las 7 and 21. 21 is 21. Number 9, it is at 3:40. This is not a statement of time. This is telling what time something is at. So, let's see. We have, all of them start with es a la or es a las. Some of them start with las instead of la. It just depends on the number that comes after. This number that comes after is going to be 3. So we're going to use las. Es a las, and then I say 3 and 40. 3 and 40. Es a las 3:40. Number 10. It is at 2 o'clock. Es a las 2. It is at 2. And this completes video A for telling time.